No, I don't think I ever thought we're not going to talk after this. But there was a point like Kristen's knee gave her a lot of trouble, and it was around the same time as she mentioned that we only had 6 hours or something left. And then I started counting down and trying to break down, and I was like, we need to go faster.
Welcome to Chasing Rabbits, the space where we sit down with women who refuse to play small, who rewrite the rules, and who show us what's possible when we listen to that inner voice that says, there's more. I am your host, Alicia. I am a runner, a yoga teacher, a mountain lover, a coach, a retreat host, and a general jack of all trades. But here, my goal is to get you inspired by other women and to make you realize and see the power you have to inspire other people around you. In today's episode, I am talking to two women who don't need introductions. It is Vitting and Kristen O'Sullivan, who are both incredible athletes in the trade run space. Two of them only recently completed the Iveragh Traverse, which is anything from 79 to 85 kilometers long traverse in Kerry. It includes 47 peaks and 7,500 meters of elevation in it. And they did it together. And in the conversation, we are talking obviously about the traverse. We are talking about being friends in a competitive world, and also about bringing together your training and motherhood, full-time job, and family, which I find incredibly interesting and very inspiring. So tune into the conversation. I absolutely loved talking to those two, and I hope you're gonna enjoy that conversation just as much as I did. Enjoy. You all signed waivers that you are being recorded. Okay. So today we are sitting down with Ellen and Kristen, who only a few weeks ago faced the Iveragh Traverse and completed it with 17 seconds to spare. 17 seconds. Kristen and Ellen are both amazing athletes. They both won Kerry Way. They both won Art O'Neill. They raced together quite a lot as well. And I witnessed the two of you racing together in Schleekorka at the beginning of this year when I was there delivering the award for Brian. And I remember seeing you at the start line, and it wasn't such a typical start line where everybody is to themselves and everybody is just focusing on the race and everything. The two of you were chatting there with Dee O'Gorman. It was so nice to see that you are competing against each other, but you're also friends. And I think I would like to start with that. I'd like to ask you, when did your friendship start? Because to run for 24 hours together, that's a special type of friendship. You really need to know each other.
The proper test.
Proper test, exactly. So if you want to tell me, when did that start? The origins of your friendship? Whoever wants to start.
We're actually both from Kenmare, so we would have gone to the same school. But Kristen is 2 years nearly younger than me. So she wasn't in the same class, so I knew who she was, but I didn't know her. So it was only when I moved back to Kenmare, probably 4 years ago, nearly 5 years ago, I started meeting a few people that were into trail running around here, and yeah, we just ended up in the same kind of friends group, training together and going out on weekly kind of excursions, big long runs a weekend. And then we went on a few trips together. We've gone to Chamonix, So, and a few overnights up Wicklow in that direction. So
we had a lot in
we
common,
just
I think, as well. Like with the same kind of, we'd have the same kind of barriers. Like we're always under time pressure, so we kind of get each other. Like, you know, we might go out as part of a group sometimes, and there'll be people there who have the whole day, and there's no hurry. Whereas myself and Ellen are always kind of watching the top, like, okay, we just get back by whatever. Like we're on the same wavelength, and it just kind of it kind of graduated from there. We just started meeting up and doing more stuff together because we're kind of similar mindset and company.
Yeah, and there's
always
that thing of, oh my God, we have to pick up kids. We have to bring the kids to something like.
Yeah.
And we were always going at stupid times in the morning as well.
You'd be like, yeah, let's get up at 4 a.m. We need to be back by lunch, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. But we have similar complaints, and we can, you know, cancel each other on our long runs. It's actually great for getting things off your chest and venting. And we just, like Kristen said, we just have so much in common with our life and what we're interested in and what we love. So it just,
and our children are friends as well now, which is, you know, it's lovely because, you know, we can even go for a walk with the kids even and things like that and have a nice time, and you know, it's good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And when did the idea of doing the Iveragh Traverse, when did that kind of, you know, sparked? Because it is a massive challenge, and it was like, it's what, 47 peaks, anything from 79 to 85 kilometers. You have 24 hours to do it, and you're doing massive elevation. It's like, is it 7,500 meters of elevation? And it was only Joe O'Leary and Kevin Leahy that finished it or completed it before in just over 22 hours. So when you look at that, the 22 hours, and if you're looking, for example, at the Wicklow round, where the fastest man did it in over 15 hours, and the woman did it in 21 hours, you're thinking, you're not really leaving yourself a lot of time. You know, you're only 2 hours more, you only 2 hours more than the lads. And like, how did that spark?
I think there was one other that did it as well, Shane Lynch. There was another guy, Shane Lynch from the north, that did it as well. I think Ellen mentioned it. I suppose when the lads were training for it, and we'd done a couple of small sections of it around that time, it kind of seemed like an interesting challenge, and obviously we followed their journey and their challenge, followed the tracking at the time. And I suppose I thought in my head, God, it'd be really cool to do it. In my own mind, never voiced it out loud, but Ellen did. Actually, you were the first one to kind of say it, weren't you, a few years ago when you were
like, I started kind of thinking, oh, that would be interesting. Now the night stages, I was very weary of doing it on my own, and I think actually I probably should have voiced that earlier, because Kristen probably would have jumped on board at the time. But I suppose when I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, it's grand during the day. I don't know how I'll fare on my own out there at night. I just, you know, I just don't know, will I feel entirely safe out there. It's very isolated. It's very rough ground.
Very lonely.
And I had thought about it. And then when Shane did it, was following that as well. And I was kind of, okay, I definitely wanted to do it then. And I think then the growth kind of, like, after May, there's a lot of growth on the mountain, and it gets so hard. So I kind of said, okay, I'll wait maybe next year. So actually I kind of half had planned to do it last year, but then I broke my legs. So I kind of, shelved it. And it was only when we went out, we started wrecking some of it, and we started talking about it this year again. And then, you know, I think Kristen just said, you know, we'll just do it. So
we'd kind of been looking at other multi-day stuff as well, and I kind of thought to myself that this would be a good challenge, like, you know, if we can get through this and not like fall out. We didn't take on as much day stuff. And as it happened, I think if we got through, I think if our friendship survived that, I think we'll always be friends.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was, when you're thinking about the multi-day things, you really do have to be on the same wavelength and know you
Yeah.
can handle each other because, it's a long time out there. So it was a very testing and a very rewarding 24 hours.
It was, yeah. It was pretty amazing. Just the wilderness and the loneliness of it. And, it was really nice to experience it together. And like, as you say, the night sections, I'm not sure, like I certainly wouldn't have been comfortable there by myself either. And it was great. We actually, like, we did have quite a laugh as well. We had a really nice time, like until it got difficult, obviously. But it was really enjoyable as well as difficult.
And was there
Yes.
a moment when you actually like had to take a breather? Like, was there a moment when you thought, we're not going to talk to each other after this?
Do you want to take that one?
No, I don't think I ever thought we're not going to talk after this. But there was a point like Kristen's knee gave her a lot of trouble, and it was around the same time as she unfortunately mentioned that we only had 6 hours or something left, and then I started counting down and trying to break down, and I was like, we need to go faster, we need to, I started getting all like focused on the time.
And God, you did though. In hindsight, thank God you did, because it was
Probably, but then I felt a bit bad. I was like, she's clearly in pain, and I'm here going like, come on, me too. So, but she, in fairness, like, I could tell like Kristen was very uncomfortable and her knee was giving a lot of trouble. But I felt like if I gave in on it and just said it's fine, that there was the risk that she might give up. So I was kind of going the other way, kind of ignoring it nearly and just saying, come on, we'll be fine.
Be fair to your credit, because like I know I wasn't good company from that point. As it turns out, I had actually I had given myself a bit of a tear on my hamstring just down by the knee. So I was quite uncomfortable, and I had decided at the top of Mangerton, like Ellen was clearly very strong, and I was in an awful lot of pain, and I was really struggling, and I was kind of like, look, I'm not going to make the time. You'll make the time. I won't make the time. I'm done here. We had a couple of buddies of ours met us at the top of Mangerton, and I had made my decision by the time we got there, and Ellen was like, look, forget about times. Let's just do it. Just forget about the time. Let's not look at the clock anymore and go for it. And like, to be honest, if she hadn't said that, I probably, like, because I knew I wasn't going to make the time, or I thought I wouldn't make the time. I knew she was perfectly capable of it. But in fairness, she wasn't going to leave me behind either. And I don't know how we made up so much time in that last section.
I don't know. I didn't mention time. I said nothing until we were on the very last climb, and I was looking at the clock the whole time, and I looked at it then, and I just said, "Do you know, Kristen, if we can get up here in 20 minutes and we boot it down this hill,
It was
we're gonna
7
make
minutes. It was 7.
Yeah. And I kind of lied a little bit. I was like, it's a trail the whole way down, which it wasn't. When we got to the top, I was like, oh crap, it's all heather.
There was actually she was like, we're on to track. When we get to the top of this, and we're just bounced down, and I'll never forget, we came across like, no, it was a low fence, like a fence, and I was like, I nearly cried. Like, I physically had to put my hands under my left leg, and lift it over it. And I was like, oh, but we did it.
And what was the, apart from the knee pain, because obviously that was for you, Kristen, that was the worst part, and thinking probably inside you thought you really wanted Ellen to finish it, and you didn't want to be slowing her down.
Yeah.
So that probably was absolutely, like, that was hard. But if it comes to being out there, did you find navigation hard? Like, Ellen, you're doing adventure racing, so you're kind of used to probably a bit of navigation.
I'm a terrible, terrible navigator. I totally rely on GPX, but I can't, And actually, the girls that were in Slovenia with me will tell you I turned the wrong way every time I came out of the restaurant there. I can't even find my way back to my hotel room. So it like definitely not a good navigator. But like in fairness, we had recce'd most of it. The last section we'd done years ago, we didn't actually do it again before the race. And I think we made a fairly good route choice in general.
Yeah.
I think you doubt yourself when you get tired. You just start getting tired,
Yeah.
and you doubt when you're in a bad spot. You're just like, is this really the best place? Like there has to be somewhere better. And I think part of the Iveragh Traverse is just it's so rough that wherever you are, you're going to feel like you're in the wrong place
Yeah.
because it's just so impossible to get through. And so we had like it didn't bother me so much at the start, and I think the start is probably more open mountain, but there was a lot of like boulders and heather and stuff in the last section, and it was definitely bits where it was like it feels like we're totally wrong, but
Yeah.
there was nowhere better to go. I think a few of the climbs we kind of given up looking for the best line. We just went just go whatever's closest to us. But no, I don't think we ever really got lost or anything or went the wrong route.
No.
So yeah, I think the navigation actually worked really well. We both
Yeah.
had it on our watches, and we both were very kind of diligent checking where we were, you know. So
You do really for that one, like you're just switched on all the time. My head was so tired even by the end of it. Like
yeah,
you just can't kind of let your guard down with the navigation on that one. But yeah, we managed it like between the two of us.
Yeah, and especially at night, because it's something else when you're on the hills of Wicklow Hills, where you kind of know that it's safe, but you're all like these mountains are no joke, and it's like
no, and
at night.
the night section was very rough. Actually, it was kind of from Ballacrema to Moll's
Yeah.
Gap, and then the start of the Mangerton stage. It's a very slow. Well, the whole Iveragh Traverse is quite slow going, but this section in particular has a lot
We
of
had fog as well.
yeah, which is hard with the head torch because then you're kind of it's not as clear to see. So yeah, they were quite rough stages there. They are quite dangerous as well. Some of the drops of those mountains, but I think generally we just try to take the safest route. Some of the mountains we kind of stuck with the fence to try and just have something to hold on to.
Yeah. The mountains actually look, thing that struck me, look bigger in the dark as well. When you're
They
out
started
there.
looking massive, yeah. They just look massive in the dark.
Once you realize that in your head, then it's kind of okay.
Yeah, they look big and scary, don't they?
Yeah, at
Yeah.
night, it's funny.
And so you said that you recce'd the route. Did you do a lot of recce's together as well? Or did you, because of obviously family life, work and all the other things, did you kind of focus, okay, I'm going to go and recce this part, you go and recce that part? Or how was the preparation for it?
No, I think we did them all together, didn't we?
We did.
Even
We did them all
years ago
together.
when we did the section, I think we did the recce, the last section together at the time.
We did.
So yeah, we just bribed people to take our kids or whatever, managed to
Worked
do
it out.
it.
We had other
Yeah.
friends come with us as well for some of them, so which was helpful as well because they would just added input into certain
Yeah.
sections that could be done a little bit better, maybe. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah, we actually missed one of the climbs on the first section the time we recce'd it, so we were very conscious of that.
Switched on.
Looked at it on every single map going afterwards to try and figure out how we.
And on the day, like we could see, it was just like, yeah, you can see how we missed it. All right, like just poor route choice. It just wasn't an obvious path the way we had gone about it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the visibility was very good on the day we did it. During the night there was fog, but during the day we could see where we were going, which is a massive help because when the fog comes down there, you just see nothing. And yeah, you know yourself, but you could be going anywhere, but you could be going in circles.
Yeah.
So that did help, especially that first section. We could see exactly, what peaks we should be heading for. So that made it easier.
Yeah. And did you, because I don't know if I read somewhere, did Joe and Kevin, did you get some help from them about everything, about route choices, about, how to behave in certain situations? Did they help out?
Oh, they were excellent. Yeah, Joe and Kevin were always on hand. Like, you know, if you want, I spoke to Joe at length about it before we took it on. I left him know that we were thinking of taking on and got his advice. And in fairness, he was very forthcoming with advice and like that. And we were doing recce's for certain sections. I can't remember exactly now certain things that we came up on. Though he was straight on saying, yeah, you could do this better, or you could do that. Follow this route here. You know, they were both really good, and it just didn't happen. We were to meet them for a couple of recce's, but like that, myself and Ellen both, you know, all of our recce's ended up being kind of last minute and queer hours, and it just didn't happen. But that was more down to us than them. They were pretty helpful throughout the day.
Yeah, and Joe was at the finish, so it was lovely to see him there as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Got
nice.
to take part in the excitement of our close finish.
And the set, like for me, it's also the 17 seconds to spare. So
I know you couldn't plan it.
like I was chatting to Rowan from Primal Tracking because I met him then after in Waterfell. Yeah, and we were talking about it, and he was like, "My God, those girls! We were looking at the tracker. And they were like, I'm telling you, you created so much drama."
On a 24-hour challenge could be so exciting.
Like, we could not have called it as being that tight. I think even when you said it going on the last time, like if we get there in 7 minutes, we have 30 minutes to run down. Like even at that point, like we were either good. I never thought we'd be that close.
And did you?
Yeah, I thought we.
Yeah, keep going.
Sorry, go on. I was just gonna say I thought we'd actually have a minute or two, but like
I thought
that
so
was in
too.
my head that it was like a motorway going down, but it wasn't.
It was
So,
quite
you know.
heathery and holy, and like every step was excruciating. And in fairness, Ellen, I kept saying, run ahead, and she didn't, to be fair.
I ran like a few feet ahead and kept shouting back the times. I see you were like, shut up, stop putting me under pressure.
Oh my God.
We got there in the end, so you know. And our crew had a good laugh with us. They were brilliant all day, and they were there looking at their watches and they were counting down.
We could hear them shouting, like as soon as we came into view, they were shouting at us, run faster.
Oh my God, it's like it's just it's incredible. And was there, like Ellen, you were shouting that if you get this 7 minutes up, then you have 30 minutes back. Like, did you think, like, were you full of we will make it, or did you think fuck
at that stage I didn't think we were going to make it. When we were kind of halfway through the last stage, I was like, I don't think we're going to make the time. I said, let's just, well, enjoy is probably a strong word for that stage in the challenge, but let's just get through it. And
we were really lucky that the navigation went our way in that section. Like, we were working together a lot on that section with the navigation and following the map on the GPX and that, and we were really lucky that it went right, I think.
Yeah, because we didn't have much to spare, obviously. So yeah, but on the last downhill, then I thought we'd make it, but when the first kilometer on the downhill was really rough, I was like, maybe I've kind of overestimated how fast we're going to be here. But then, it did turn a bit more runnable, and we were able to make up a little bit of ground. But it was, I could tell when we got to 1 kilometer, I could tell it was going to be, tight enough, because we had to zigzag down this mountain bike trail, so that wasn't that fast either, because you're like zigzagging.
Very technical.
Yeah, very technical. So you weren't exactly striding down there either. So it was just everything, like the whole route. Like, there's no fast sections in it. I mean, the fastest section is where you cross the road, and my Moll's Gap is the only bit where you can, take a few fast steps. But yeah, it's very easy to underestimate how slow going the ground is. It's very wild up there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sections that we'd done in the recce that we were kind of saying we should do that a bit quicker. Like, you wouldn't do any of it a whole pile quicker at all. Like, it's just slow, and it's just the ground. It's just difficult and steep and holy and boggy, and
yeah. It was still wet when we did it as well. We were, we were kind of lucky. There was 2 weeks of good weather, and then it lashed rain the day before.
Yeah.
I have a little person coming in there checking on dinner.
Hello, little person.
She's gone again.
So, what was the feeling when you got to your crew and you knew, okay, we're done? Was it a massive relief, or did you actually get to feel, oh my God, wow, it's amazing what we've just achieved? Did you actually straight away, did you get the chance to actually wrap your heads around what you've done?
I don't think so, really. It was just, relief.
Not at that
Oh my
point.
God, we actually got here.
We were actually rushing home as well to kids, even
Even after that, I got no sleep when I got home. But yeah, I don't even remember what was on, but we were definitely under pressure to get home.
My kids were after being at a football blitz, and I was trying to get home. That is fun. But no, it was, later on that evening, then it kind of sunk in, and it was like, God, we actually did, the whole, when you sat down and thought about the 17 seconds that we came in under, it was like, oh, wow, thank God.
Yeah. And now you mentioned that straight away you were onto kids, you got no sleep and all of that. I think that's a perfect moment to ask a very important question, which is, how do you work your training into your life? The two of you, as we mentioned before, are mothers to 2 kids. You both work, and it's difficult. It's different for a man to go out and train than it is for a woman, because obviously we naturally think more like, okay, we have to organize A, B, C, D, we have to do this, we have to do that. When do you run? Especially for races that are that long, because it's something else if you're training for a 10K or a half marathon, because that doesn't require such a massive amount of time on your feet. But when you're training for these massive things, you have to somehow make the extra 4 hours into your day. And unfortunately, we can't buy it on Amazon or anywhere else. So we still are left with the 24. So how do you manage that into your day?
I don't keep, like, most of my runs are probably around the same distance as they would be kind of for shorter stuff. Like, I just kind of work in a long one then Saturday or Sunday morning, whenever I can fit it in over the weekend when my husband is here. It might have to be 6 or 7 in the morning to get it done. And then like occasionally we can take a day, head off early, go to the weeks or somewhere and things like that. And then, like, otherwise, there's kind of an hour here and there evenings during the week when it just fits in, like whenever you can fit it in. If the kids are busy at training, or my husband is here, or my parents help out, or my in-laws help out sometimes as well. And then obviously, like, the gym work and all that, I just do here when the kids are here, and they join in sometimes, which is lovely. That's for me anyway.
No, I'd be similar, because just with kids' school drops, activities, the weekdays are very full, and work is pretty much all day now. I work from home, so I do go run at lunch if I have no meetings either side, and I can be a bit more flexible. I'd run at lunch, but that's like max 10K, like, so that's none of the long stuff can be done during the week. Same in the evening. I've kept up one kind of, I suppose, speech session with the club here in Kenmare. So we do that every Thursday. So I kind of, that slot is mine. So no one has taken it yet in the family. So I get that done. And then same as Kristen, it's just trying to find that gap in the weekend to get something long done. And like tomorrow now, it's my daughter's birthday party. So like, I'll be getting up early. I'll probably just run the Kerry Way here, out and back, try and get home before 11. And get things ready, But the good days then, when there's no matches or anything else on, we try and organize something like the Reeks.
Grab
Yeah.
an opportunity.
Yeah. No, in winter, like the weather was so bad, it was actually really hard getting like those kind of trips done. But now with the weather picking up, hopefully there'll be a few more, trips to
Yeah.
like Reeks.
The messed up side of it
nice.
is that sometimes it's easier to get away when the weather is so bad because no one else in the house wants to do anything. So you kind of have to maximize the opportunities there, which I think also kind of stands to us, when it comes to doing the long, painful events as well, that
Yeah.
you are just used to going out in bad weather. And actually, as Ellen said, I'm lucky enough to work from home as well. So I have a small bit of flexibility there, that if I'm caught with kid stuff of an evening, that sometimes, I can just maybe fit in a fast run in the lunch hour, and like that makes a huge difference as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's massive, and I think that's something that I think we give a lot of credit to runners, to young runners who achieve massive things, but they usually don't have families, and they have a lot of time to go out there and do their strength work and do their weights and do their speed sessions and long sessions and everything. And there's a lot of jiggling and trying to fit things around.
The only thing I will say though, like just having been injured there for a few weeks and not kind of running like I normally run, I do find that when I'm training, when I'm running, the rest of my life works better as well. Like that I'm more efficient in every aspect. Whereas like when I'm not running, I tend to let things go, or I just don't have as much energy all around. So my whole life feels better when I'm training. It's just I have more energy for everything, and I'm better. If you would think that when I'm not training that I should have more time, but I don't. I don't know how.
I think it's that
that
that the running helps you like mentally and
does.
physically to organize your life. Because I mean, even when you don't run, like your days end up being just as busy, and you're like, how did I used to fit in all the running?
Yeah.
Because even when I was kind of only coming back running last year, I didn't actually feel like I had much more time. It's strange. I think the running actually helps to structure the day a little bit, and
You're more
definitely
organized.
helps me organize stuff in my head. And like even with work, sometimes if I was really frustrated or I couldn't work something out, like sometimes things fall into place when you're out for a little run.
Yeah.
So it actually adds to your day rather than making it more stressful. Definitely, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And so tell me as well, so because I know Ellen, like Kristen was just injured with her hamstring, and you, Ellen, you broke your foot last year as well.
Yeah, my ankle. Yeah,
your ankle. How do you deal with injury? How do you deal mentally with the fact that, when you're told, because we all the runners tend to just be like, oh, the bone is broken, but can I run? Like it's that mentality. Can I run? Like can I go? Obviously not. But how do you go through stages when you're injured, and how do you deal with it, with the inability to move?
Yeah, I think if initially when I'm injured, like if it's not serious, I tend to ignore it and just hope it goes away. Unfortunately, it was a bit hard to do that with the broken leg. I think immediately afterwards, I was kind of a bit in denial, and I was like that. Oh, what can I do? I was like, can I swim with it? And they were like, no, like your leg's broken. Like you can't go swimming. And I was in my head, I was like, I'll be in the boot for whatever 6 to 8 weeks, and then I'll be flying again. And then it turned out that I needed surgery, and I needed to get screws and stuff fitted. So that was a bit of a blow, because I was kind of worried about, I suppose, the mobility and everything in the ankle, because they were putting in screws and they wanted to put a big long screw in to connect the tibia and fibula, and I was like, oh, this sounds horrendous. So I spent a few days like distraught, and then I found a surgeon that I was happy with, and I got it done with him. And then I think I just got to the stage where it was acceptance. And actually, for once in my life, I really listened. Like I suppose with a broken bone, there's a set amount of time where you can't weight bear, and there was nothing really I could do about it. So I listened relatively well up to a point, and then I set up my turbo and I got myself a rowing machine, and I was like, I can do these with one leg. And I did continuously. I I just got to the point is I'm going to do what I can while I can't run. So I did a lot of single leg exercises. Like there's supposed to be some transfer to the, the non-weight bearing leg, even if you're doing single leg. So I did my physio, I did all my gym, and I started doing a lot more on the turbo. Maybe I shouldn't have been on the turbo with the boot, but I was trying not to weight bear on it too much. But I needed to get the sweat on, I was just like, I just needed that release. So yeah, and then I suppose when I was cleared, I actually waited till I was cleared by the surgeon before running, which is quite unusual, but then it was a long road back after that. I suppose it was little runs, and then you'd have a niggle in your knee, then the hip was giving trouble. So it's just managing all those things, because like there's an imbalance that sets in and you're a long time not running. The thing that got me the most was I suppose I wasn't running at all from February, March, April. It was May when I was allowed to do my first run. When I first went back running, I was so excited to go back running, but it felt absolutely awful. Like I couldn't catch my breath. I felt so unfit. It's just all that joy I usually get from running. I was like, I'm never gonna love running again. But I think I just persisted with it then, little bit at a time. Stayed away from the hills and technical stuff for a long time. I think it was July or something where I tried it in Brandon. But I think, yeah, look, I've been quite diligent doing single leg exercises, doing gym, and when there's a niggle, maybe easing off a bit, doing a bit more bike and rowing. I'm lucky, I suppose. I don't just do running, and I love cycling, and I do a lot of rowing. So I have that opportunity to do other things when the running isn't going well. So that is really important. I think if you're a runner, if you can cross train a bit, to kind of manage it. But I have thankfully come back relatively well. It's not, it's not totally gone, and sometimes the nerves play up and it gets swollen and it's not perfect, but I can manage it. I'm back doing what I love. So it's kind of feels like all that work was worth it.
Yeah, yeah. And Kristen, how about you? How do you deal with those setbacks?
Oh, well, I can't compare really. Like what I had was, nothing like having a broken bone. And I suppose I was feeling sorry for myself there for a few weeks when I couldn't run or couldn't walk comfortably. And I just think of Ellen, and her recovery last year was absolutely inspirational, and back to the level she's at now. She was representing Ireland there last week in the Euros. It's phenomenal. Yeah, it's difficult, but like Ellen, I'm lucky I have the turbo trainer here. I joined the local rowing club as well, so I was using the rowing machines and that while I wasn't able to run. But like that, it was only, I was off for 6-7 weeks. I'm back clodding a bit now again. Well, I'm actually back running comfortably again now this week, so I can't complain. I can't compare it to Ellen. It's hard on the head when you're used to running, and then when you've been off for a few weeks, even just like the 6 weeks I wasn't running, it feels very hard. I can totally resonate with what Ellen was saying. I can only imagine, when you were out, she was out a lot longer than I was, and it feels very hard when you go back. But yeah, you just have to, I suppose, think of people who've come back from real injuries and, find a bit of inspiration there. It's not nice place to be.
The soft tissue ones are nearly the worst though, because you're still standing, you're still able to move. So doing the right thing when you have, like a tear or a ligament, that's nearly harder than, when I had a broken bone, because there's a fixed time and you're just not allowed to weight bear. That's it. But I think when you feel like you can still move, you as a runner tend to chance it anyway until it gets too bad. So in a way, I suppose it was good that I wasn't able to move, because I think all the ligament and whatnot damage that fixed itself as well, or at least had a chance to knit while I wasn't weight bearing. Whereas, I suppose Kristen was probably cracking up every week going, is it ready to go out on? And that's the thing with those kind of injuries. It's nearly harder to be disciplined, I think, because you're still able to go with some level of pain, you know.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's the end of it now.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I seem to
yeah.
be through it.
Yeah, yeah. I think with injuries as well, I think there's, I don't know, and I found it because I'm only coming out from a completely torn ligaments, and I think at the beginning it's nearly the identity crisis.
Yeah,
Like, who am I if I can't run? It's like we don't have any other problems in life, but I just remember being like, well, I'm not a runner anymore. Like, what am I to do with my life now?
yeah, I get that. And also, like I think I mentioned earlier how when I'm not running, the rest of my life goes to pot. Like I'm just so disorganized in every other aspect because I sort all my problems when I'm running. Like I do all my organizing, I organize everything in my head when I'm running.
Yeah, yeah. It is like, I know that we use that term quite a lot. That running is therapy, and I think, yeah, for somebody who doesn't run, it's a bit like, there they are again, therapy. Fucking go and pay somebody to go for real therapy. But it actually is. It does help.
It does.
Yeah.
It is, but it's so much part of like your identity, I think, when you're such an enthusiastic runner. Like it is, it's so much
Yeah.
part of who you are that, losing that bit, it does, it's very frustrating in everyday life, and it does make you feel very out of sorts. Maybe you get used to it after a while. I hope I don't have to find out anytime soon, but I certainly, I was dying to get back running at the time. So yeah,
Yeah.
need it.
Do you have any more adventures? Are you thinking of doing any more of those big adventures anywhere in Ireland or in the UK or somewhere in the world? Are you either together or separate?
We're going to a race in July in Verbier, which is 100 mile, the 100 mile race there. But I suppose it's not the same as, the Iveragh Traverse. It's not, it's just one of the UTMB very long, probably very painful races. We had thought about doing the PTL, the whatever 6-7 day, however long it takes you, races, but we didn't get in this year, so the
Definitely
Iveragh
let's
Traverse
try.
flat for that.
Be nice. I'd like to try to go for it again sometime. It does look really cool. It looks like it'd be a really cool adventure.
Yeah. And the multi-day is amazing when you're out there for so many days and you
Yeah.
do everything yourselves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right planned at the moment. The Verbier one, I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, the run up for me hasn't been ideal, but I'm glad to be back running comfortably now. And if I can, I'll just be glad to get it done if I can.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you so you have another 100-miler planned, and would you how often do you get out on the hills and actually run the elevations? Because I'd say, UTMB races are pretty hilly. So do you get the time to get out and actually train on the climbs?
I'm lucky here. Actually, I think, Ellen, you're probably pretty similar. I'm lucky here. Like, there's a couple of mountains nearby. They're not huge by any means, but like my local mountain here, on a good day when I'm very fit, I can go from the door to the summit, back to the door in an hour and a quarter. Like, so it's not that much longer than going for a 10K run or whatever. Like. And like that, you can kind of, there's a couple of routes here, you can get 1,000, 2,000 meters of elevation if you had a few hours free. I try not to get too bogged down on it. I'm lucky that I have the hills nearby that I can, like, you can also train for the hills just by doing gym work and weights at home, and just doing your usual interval sessions. Like I always think in the run up to something big like Verbier, if you can get, over to the reeks and get good elevation in day in, even once a month in the run up, like it'll get you through it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a bit for the head as well. You do need to at least once or twice travel out
Yeah.
to the likes of the Reeks and do the really big climbs. And but even they don't compare. Like, I mean, you get maybe 500 meters in one go, then it levels out a bit, and then
Yeah.
you have the cone, which is actually it's only 300 and 300 the zigzags, and then the cone. So like you go abroad then, and you're doing a climb of like 1,500 meters in one go. Like it is really hard to train for it in Ireland. But I definitely think for confidence, as well as training, doing like a heavy day in the Reeks, at least one or two before a big event does help. I think we did some reps on the zigzags and the cone before the Iveragh Traverse for one of our kind of elevation days. But they're rare enough because you do need a long day, kind of, then it has to be a weekend. So mostly I would do same as Kristen, like gym work, and then just hill reps on like a small hill, like 5 minutes or up to 8 minutes. On just on the road. And then I have the Kerry Way, but you wouldn't get massive climbing on it. There's no massive continuous climbing, but it's good for the kind of uneven and to train the up and down, So they're the kind of handy ones I can do here. But yeah, probably need to pencil in a trip to the Reeks now next weekend.
Yeah.
And are you thinking of coming back to the Kerry Way?
I would like to actually. I again, before the Kerry Way, I was I had been injured before that as well, and I think I like the run up wasn't at all how I would have liked. I hadn't prepped, and I suffered a lot on the day. It's one that I feel I could do better, and I would like to do it again someday. It won't be this year because we've stuff on in September, so I won't be able to this year. But I would like to go back and do that. That is one I'd like to go and do again someday. I felt I could have done better in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it now. The only thing was I got tendonitis in my feet, which took a long time to settle after it. That put me off a little bit going for the really long things again, but I didn't get it when I did UTMB and stuff after. So maybe it's gotten a bit stronger since then. But I really enjoyed the day. I think we perfect weather the year I did it. It's a brilliant race. It's just the polar opposite to these big commercial events, but it's like wonderful because of that. It's just brilliant. And it's on my doorstep, so I really don't have any excuse. So I probably should try and do it again. Yeah.
We were trying to get a good team. So last year we were there at the finish line, and Niamh Fitzpatrick was there, Laura O'Driscoll was there, and a few other. Was Sorka there? No, she wasn't. But we were just chatting.
Next year, I think.
That's what we were saying with Laura, that it would be so amazing if we could get all those super women into one event and finally have a good race.
Make it the most competitive Kerry Way ever.
Yeah, exactly. Make it that nobody wants to watch nobody wants to follow the men's race. Everybody will be like, "Oh my God, how are the women going?"
Fabulous. I'd be up for that.
Okay, so September 2027. That's the one. We're signing you up.
Yeah, it's a fabulous event. Even just like everything about it, it's just so wonderful. Such a beautiful route, and the scenery and everything, and the people. So much support on the way. That was the thing that struck me about that one. That there was just so much support along the way. It's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Also, fellow runners, like you have some great chats and great fun out on the run. Like, it's very different to the big events where people just ignore you.
Yeah.
Even though there's so many people around you, it's hard to have the kind of chats that you would have had in the Kerry Way Ultra. It's just that kind of race,
Yeah.
That little impromptu I won't say aid station. I think those people is it near Foilmore?
It's just before Peggy and Donald.
That was just amazing. Like they were having a party there. I just wanted to stay there. Didn't want to run on anymore. Great, and got a little bit of fruitcake and a little sup of tea on my way again. It was amazing, and it's actually like one of the loneliest points on the whole on the route as well in the middle of the night. It was just so amazing. And I gather they've been doing this off their own back for years, have they?
Yeah, it's actually it's not, it's just themselves. They started.
They just come out to support it. That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, they have a fire. Last year they got a big gazebo. They have tea, they have coffee, they have cake, they have everything.
Yeah. Anything you wanted. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And then John Lennon in the middle of nowhere, up on top of a hill in Sneen with a disco ball. It's like I
Yes.
thought it was actually. I thought it was seeing things. It was amazing.
Yeah, they're always at the top of Cumnakishta. They hide. Yeah, they have a bottle of wine and some lights and
Yeah, it's class.
Be hard to pass that.
yeah. Okay, so 2027, we're doing it. We're so doing it. I'm just gonna get everybody signing waivers, please do it. And I have another question about just a quick come back to the Traverse. So straight after you finished, there's obviously, because you did it, there was an increased interest in the Traverse, because I'd say like many people haven't really heard about it before it was brought back to light, you know, and obviously more people were planning to do it. And we were very quickly told to not go there due to access issues. Did you have any problems? Like, did you meet a farmer who told you to F off or anything?
No, we met no one on the entire Traverse. So we spoke to the farmer at the start, and he was lovely. He was a gentleman. So, and we spoke to the farmer at the end, and that's the only time that we even encountered anyone. I suppose it's so isolated. You're kind of up at the top, the whole time. You're not like dropping down, going through people's, you know, backyard or anything. So you know, like there was times at night there was no lights even in sight. Like there was nothing. It was just, you know, you're just so far up there in the wilderness. So no,
we haven't encountered any negativity since either. So I don't know. No.
Yeah, because that's what we were chatting the other day, that, you know, people go up those mountains all the time.
Hiking. Yeah.
Hiking, exactly. So I wonder, is there something against runners? Because
not that I know of.
If exactly, like you were there and you never met anybody who'd be negative towards you. So
no, anyone we met, we only met the farmer at the start and the farmer at the finish. We spoke to both of them.
Yeah,
they were very nice to us.
Typical Kerry farmers, happy for you to be there and chasing sheep.
Yeah, no, they were definitely not difficult. They were lovely. The guy at the start was trying to give us money for, you know, he was asking were we raising money, and we're like, no, we're just doing it for fun. We're like, you don't have to give us anything. Yeah, he was lovely. And the guy at the end just thought we were slightly nuts, I think, but he was lovely. Yeah.
Obviously, we'd be very respectful of the land always, you know, and you know, and farms, and like it's important obviously always to have respect for the landowners and leave everything as he found it and not interfere with anything. But no, we didn't encounter anything negative.
Yeah, that's good to know. Let's go.
Nothing stopping you, Alicia. Off you go.
Maybe a bit of an ankle issue, but sure, fuck it.
Hopefully you're coming out of it now, hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so the last question, or maybe last two questions, but one of them is, do you actually realize how much you did for women in running by completing the Traverse? Has anybody told you anything, or have you ever thought about it?
Well, it would be lovely to think that we did. Like, you know, it didn't kind of occur to me anyway, that it would have. But like, obviously, if it did, I'd love that. Like, you know, it would be lovely to inspire more women. And you know, anyone can do this sort of thing, just with a bit of training and a sense of adventure, I think.
That's the thing. Like, it is, you know, it's not this unreachable kind of challenge that no one, you know, we were able to do it, and I think anyone can do it. I think a lot of people now, unless you're really into this, and even if you're into ultra running or running, I think until you recce and see the route, it's probably quite hard to understand, what we did. I think, I'm very proud that we got through it, because it wasn't the easiest day, in particular for Kristen. I think, that really shows like what kind of spirit she has, and that she's probably one of the most resilient people I've met, that she was able to push through that.
Ditto.
Look, it would be great if, there is other women that are inspired, whether it's to do something like this or just to get out and go for a run. But yeah, I haven't given it a massive amount of thoughts, but it would be lovely to think that it does.
Yeah.
I think, and if nobody told you that before, I will. Because for me personally, I think what you did was absolutely outstanding. And I know that, you say anybody can do it, but I think to see two incredible women go out there together, and I think the fact also that you did it together and you finished it, the two of you, it's just, I can't, like, I'm in such awe. Like, I'm just looking at you and I'm like, oh my God, I love these women. And I would love more women to know about it. And I would like more women to look at you and think, oh my God, I can be like them. I can go out there and, and do it. And I think also, you both have daughters, don't you?
We do.
Yeah. So I just think that for the little girls that are looking at you, you're just, they look at you and they see these strong women. And for them, for the future, it's like, well, if mommy did it, like, it can't be that hard, can it? Like,
Actually, yeah.
I can do it
It will definitely
too.
put you back in your box, yeah. Yeah, but there's little things, and that's probably the most meaningful, when my daughter says something like, "But like you did that," or "But you're really strong." I'm just like, oh, like she does see, they mightn't really notice half the things we do, but they do see it, and somewhere inside them, that's hopefully that'll help them believe they can, do these things and go out and, do whatever they want and dream big.
Yeah.
That's all you want for your daughters, to, believe in themselves and want to be, strong and, inspirational little girls, which they are. They are very strong and inspirational.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. It is amazing. I just like, really, I love you girls. Sorry.
Well, you're doing
You're
great
women,
work
you're not
yourself
girls.
here with the podcast, inspiring ladies too. This is brilliant. It's lovely to be a part of it, and thank you for asking us on.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. I think we have to showcase all that women do for that reason, so that somebody might listen to a podcast on the way to work and get inspired. Yeah, I can go out there and I can, I don't know, not necessarily go and run for 24 hours, but I can go out there and go for a hike or something.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so I think it's amazing. Yeah. And ladies, thank you for giving me an hour of your time, because I know it's not easy with your busy lifestyles. I loved the conversation, and I hope we will be able to meet again and have chats about your other achievements. And yeah, thank you a million times.
Thanks, Lucy.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for having me.
Alicia.
And that's a wrap. You've been listening to Chasing Rabbits. I hope you enjoyed your time spent with me. And if you did, please share it with a friend. Spread the love as much as you can. We will see you soon. And in the meantime, keep chasing rabbits.